Hello everyone, today I want to give a brief lecture on Aristotle's ethical theory. Typically, philosophers refer to Aristotle's theory as what they call a virtue ethics. The idea here is that the concept of virtue is absolutely central to Aristotle's understanding of how we can be good. Now, for the Greeks, and understanding the concept of virtue, it's especially important that we understand their concept of telos. So according to the ancient Greeks, everything that exists has what the Greeks call a telos. There's no one word in English that will adequately capture or translate what the Greeks mean by the word telos, but something's telos is its purpose, or its goal, or its aim, or its end. The idea is something is being the kind of thing it is supposed to be when it fulfills its telos. So for example, the telos of a chair is something that you can comfortably sit in that will support your weight. If a chair is uncomfortable, or if a chair collapses when you try to sit in it, we would say that chair does not fulfill its telos, and therefore it is a bad chair. If you can sit in a chair comfortably and it supports you, we would say that that chair is fulfilling its telos, therefore it would be a good chair. Now, virtues are those skills or those traits that something needs in order to fulfill its telos. So if we think of a human being, our telos is, in the words of Aristotle, to flourish, to live well, to be good. Virtues would then be those skills or traits that we need in order to be good. So when people say that patience is a virtue, at least for Aristotle, what they would mean is patience is a skill or a trait that you need in order to be a good person, in order to fulfill your telos, in order to be the kind of person that you're supposed to be. Now, Aristotle adds to this idea of virtue a couple ideas of his own. One is his idea that virtue is a mean between two extremes. Philosophers often refer to this as Aristotle's theory of the golden mean. So take a virtue like courage. On the one extreme, you have the vice of cowardice. The coward is someone who is unwilling to put themselves in danger in any situation, no matter what. So Aristotle uses the example of a soldier. A soldier is a coward if they run away from battle. If they know that they are charged with defending their city, and that if their city falls, their loved ones and people they care about will die or be captured or whatever, if they then run away from that situation, they are acting as a coward. But notice, courage is not the direct opposite of cowardice. You can go to the other extreme. This extreme is what we might call rashness. So the soldier who decides, you know what, I'm not just going to sit here and fight with all the other soldiers. I'm going to charge ahead and I'm going to take on the entire enemy army by myself. That soldier, according to Aristotle, is not acting virtuously. They are not being a coward, but they are not doing the right kind of thing. They are being rash. The courageous soldier would be somewhere in the middle. The courageous soldier is willing to put themselves at risk, but only in situations where it makes sense, the middle ground. And for Aristotle, all of our virtues can be thought of as these kinds of middle grounds, these means between two extremes. The actions on the extremes would be vices that we want to avoid. The actions in the middle, at the mean, would be virtues that we want to develop. Another feature of virtue for Aristotle is Aristotle sees virtues as habits. So virtues are habits that we develop over the course of our lives through a process of moral education. So just like when you develop a habit of, say, brushing your teeth before you go to bed at night, you develop that habit by doing it. And over time, you do it enough that you then become the kind of person who just brushes their teeth before they go to bed. Being courageous or being kind or being patient for Aristotle is the same kind of thing. The way I become a kind person is by treating people kindly in my life. When I treat people kindly enough times, I have developed the habit of treating people kindly. At that point, we would say I am a kind person. A good person, then, is someone who has made the virtues their habits. I am a good person when I've developed the habit of being kind and being patient and being generous and being wise and being courageous and being temperate and whatever other virtues we can think of. So for Aristotle, the key to understanding whether or not our actions are good is to ask ourselves whether or not our actions are virtuous. And if we want to help create good people, as parents want to help raise good children, The idea is to help people develop virtues into habits. This is moral education for Aristotle, and this is just what we do when we raise children, when we try to teach people things in school, etc.